Yo, what's good? My name is Fauz. Welcome to Gear Me Out. This week, I went to the City of Gold Studios in Norwood and caught up with a good homie of mine, a proper turntablist, one of the only people I met like a while ago in the last 2 years, who actually cuts stuff up. Like, he's really good, very sharp. You know, I'm talking about like an fader using DJ. You know, when you go to the fader, it's serious, like it's proper serious. So I got the City of Gold Studio, went to check out his setup, went to check out his kit, and we had a bit of a back and forth about why he chose his setup, why his choice of equipment is why it is. I mean, I know for a fact, officially, at one point he had like 6 turntables, I think 3 different pairs of like Techniques, 1200, 1210s, different makes and models, a couple of mixers. But I mean, now we've come to like post-COVID, everybody has kind of refined their whole Swiss Army knife setup of DJ equipment. So he's going to give us a bit of a walkthrough about what he has, why his setup is the way it is, why it's unique, why he chose the mixer he chose, why he carries whatever he carries. You might actually see a portable in the video and some very high torque turntables, you know, proper DJ geek stuff. Can't wait to show you. I can ramble a lot about it, but we can let the homie DJ Soosh tell us everything about his setup.
What's up? I'm DJ Soosh. I am a turntablist and open format DJ from Johannesburg, South Africa. I've been DJing for 25 years. I won a battle in 2005. That was the Masters of Rhythm. I won the Right for Gold battle in 2006. I, in 2018, won the Crossfader battle back to the city, then defended my title in 2019, and 2018 I was also came 3rd place in the Red Bull 3-Style South Africa final. I was the DJ for Cold Product. I've worked with Tear Gas. I've performed on the same stage as Talib Kweli, Public Enemy. If you want to catch me on social media, it's DJ_Soosh, that's SOOSH. On Instagram, look for DJ Soosh. On SoundCloud, Mixcloud, Facebook, and Twitter, but I don't post on Twitter. So, yeah. I would kind of start with my main setup, which is the Rain 70, which I acquired in 2020. Probably the best thing I acquired for my DJ career, like ever. Functionality wise, it was honestly, this is what I wanted. I didn't want anything with a touchscreen and with kind of too many buttons and too many menus, because I suppose the style of DJing that I like to do, which involves a lot of, I guess, like turntablism and kind of open format DJing, quick mixing and that kind of thing. I wanted like kind of easy access to things like effects and stuff like that. So as opposed to sort of going through menus and a touch screen and that kind of thing, I can just, it's at the touch of a button and the flip of a paddle. Fader wise, they're great. These are the Mag 4 faders. I do have intentions of putting in a fader, just because obviously I'm heavy on the cuts and that's just kind of the best thing you can get. in my opinion, for scratching and turntablism, in terms of getting a crossfader. The turntables are Pioneer PLX 1000s. Now, I had many pairs of Techniques SL 1200s, and I did finally come to the conclusion that they are quite limited in what they can offer you. They're very robust and they're very reliable, and they'll last you forever. But the PLXs I found had a bit more torque, just enough torque that it's nice for mixing and scratching as well. So it's like that nice balance in between being kind of, say, like a Vestax PDX or something like a Newmont TTX, and an SL 1200 like for mixing. And then it has ultra pitch as well, which once again, if you're into doing, say, mashups or wanting to scratch really slow, it makes the platter go slowly, and it's obviously something as a turntablist that I really appreciate. So it's got +8, plus or minus 16, plus or minus 50. I tend to use the 50 when I'm doing the cuts with the slow platter. I got Fauz. Next to the Rain 70, this is the next best thing that I bought for myself in my DJ career. The needles are incredibly old tech. They're not suited for DVS now. There was a lot of problems I had with the DVS and the needles. And I just, when I acquired the Fauz, I realized that this is obviously the future. This is where it's going. You can see that with things like the Rain 12s, and I suppose anything with a moving platter as a controller. I mean, you're looking at the Rain 1s now, and you kind of Pioneer Rev, I think it's the Rev 7. That's kind of where DJing is going. So needles shouldn't even exist anymore, but they do. I got the Newmont TTX here. I use this with the Newmont Scratch, which is in the shop today, so unfortunately I can't sort of display it for you. But this, as far as the scratching turntable goes, this I picked up at like a cash converter for 1,000 Rand. They don't make these anymore. And I had to replace a few parts and stuff. But this, as far as torque goes, once again, it's got the ultra pitch. It's got a reverse button. It's got start and stop buttons over here. So feature-wise, once again, I can make the very slow platter. This has a little bit of extra torque, which is very nice for the scratching. So when I want to scratch, I've got the Newmont Scratch, which has an innovator, a mini innovator, or innovator mini, which for scratching is amazing. I quite like the very small fader cap on there as well, just for doing very kind of like fast movements with your fingers on the fader. And that setup is my scratching setup, which I use because I still like to scratch with vinyl, so that's where I use my needles. I still use Shure M447, which will never die. For those that use needles and stuff, they don't even make these styluses anymore. I've had to get generic stylus replacements from Japan. I had to import them myself. So it's a real mission, but I think, look, if you really want to earn a couple of wax, you should get yourself a pair of M447s. I've used them for the last 17 years and they've never failed me. And just talking about the Newmont Scratch as well, just because I actually take this and my Newmont Scratch out to gigs when it's just one turntable and a mixer and mix a couple of songs. Functionality wise, it is probably the best value for money in terms of having a DVS mixer that you can get, in my opinion. And I would say if you want to get really good value for money DVS mixer and you don't have the money for say a Rain 70 or an S7 or something like that, or even an S9, you can get you can cop yourself a Newmont Scratch and you'll be happy. That's a very, very, very dope mixer. I also have a Newmont PTO1, which I've made some mods to. I replaced the fader as one should when you get these things, and I put a kind of platter stabilizer. You can't actually see it, but I had to take the platter off and put it sort of underneath. So I quite like this because I can obviously take it out anywhere and I can scratch with my friends. I do a lot of portabilism stuff with DJ Kenichi, and we make content and we go to, lately we've been going to graffiti spots and we're just sort of setting up and turning on the camera and just cutting. And then I've also got custom vinyl. These are actually not mine. These belong to 3DJ JS, who let me use them for a little bit to test them out. but I'm going to get my own branded. And I mean, it's really just, I'll just take this all. Yeah, it's, it's just literally a piece of vinyl. There are no grooves on or anything, but you can brand it, which I'm going to do. And I think that's very dope just for aesthetics. And branding, especially if you're shooting content and you're playing art, can have a lot of value. So I do have intentions of at some point, as I said before, putting an inner fader in the 70, just because it feels a lot nicer than this current fader. Not to take anything away from the Mag 4, stop, but I really like the inner fader. I would like to get another TTX turntable so that I can have a kind of full setup with a new Mark Scratch. But to be honest, like other than that, like I'm good, hey. Everything does what I needed to do. I'm very, very happy with everything that I have. Maybe because I'm not so much into like modding the portables, I really like the reloop spin, but like I also enjoy just scratching on the PTO one as well. So it's like when I have like money to burn, I can do all these things. But for now, I have everything that I need, and I'm quite happy. From like off the bat, if you're serious, you're gonna spend money. This is an expensive game. You need to spend money. And what I would say is get a controller that's not too pricey, but also something that isn't gonna break, and that even if you're not interested, you can still has like a resale value. So like brands like Denon, Newmark, Pioneer, you can't go wrong. I would say spend like a couple of $1,000 on a controller. Get yourself, if you have a decent computer, and that's something to learn on. And then at a later stage, depending on the sort of trajectory of where, because I think you don't know where you're going to go when you start. So that's a good sort of starting point. But I think once you sort of establish like what kind of DJ you want to be, what gear you want to use, where you want to take it, then you can decide, well, maybe I'll get a little bit more advanced controller, maybe I'll get CDJs, maybe I'll get turntables, am I going to use DBS? I don't know. That you'll know in a couple of years of practicing and learning and that kind of thing. But obviously, if you're just starting, just get a kind of basic controller with basic functionality, but that isn't like too whack. And yeah, see where it takes you. DJ Soosh, thank you for coming to my home and letting me share all my toys with you. I love DJing, I love sharing it with people. Catch me playing with the open format crew every Friday and Saturday at Baba Black Sheep. Yeah, man. Get into DJing, it's really fun.